Hi, Sheridan Webb from the Training Designers Club here with another training design tip stroke musing. Just an idea that came to me when I was having a conversation with a new VIP member recently. And it made me think of the fact that when I was 16, I discovered the Beatles. Now, obviously, I hope it's obvious anyway, I was not 16 when the Beatles were in their heyday. I discovered the Beatles in the mid 80s. So I was massively into all the great bands that were around at that time, a huge fan of Tears for Fears. I loved Wham, I loved Duran Duran, didn't see why I had to choose. The Eurythmics were just amazing, just so much great music. And in the middle of all this fantastic 80s pop, I went off and discovered the Beatles. Now, obviously, I was aware of them before that. I'd heard their greatest hits, but what I mean is I discovered their albums and it just completely blew my mind. It didn't matter that it was then sort of 20 years old, it was still great music. And that's the point I want to make today, really. And this conversation that I had with a new VIP member who had spent a little bit of time going through our resources and said, "Oh gosh, I saw this exercise and it reminded me of something I used to do years ago. I haven't run it and it always worked really well." And I see so much in the L&D community with people just throwing away anything that's more than 10 years old. Oh, it's not up to date. Oh, it's not fresh. Oh, we can't use it. Who says you can't use it? You know, the Beatles' music is still great now. If your exercise works 20 years ago, it's probably going to work now. You know, people haven't changed to such a great degree in the last 20 years. Now, obviously, there are certain things that we need to be mindful of and make sure they are up to date, particularly examples and case studies. We need to make sure that they reflect the modern workplace. But some exercises, there's some real classics out there, you know, the red blue game, that's never going to get old. But I think a lot of the time, trainers think that, oh, well, I've run this 100 times, it's old, it's tired, it's had its day. But if your participants have never run it before, it is still going to be as impactful as it was the very first time you saw it or you ran it. So my thought for today is please don't edit yourself based on how old something is. Think about, is it going to do the job that you need it to do? Is it going to add value to the training you're creating? And is it going to really spark thinking, ideas, and learning points for your participants? Because if it answers yes to all of those things, who cares how old it is? What matters is if it works. So I'll leave that thought with you. Go and rummage through your archive and see what you've forgotten to use, and maybe blow off the dust, give it a new look, give it a fresh new feel, and you might be able to just, use those things again to have a new impact with new audiences. And with that, I'm off and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.